Welcome to episode 7 of the RCR show. We've got a jam-packed show today. West is bringing a great long form that I don't even know what the idea is, but I think it has to do with the playoffs in some way. And that is exactly what we will be talking about throughout the show. We will be going over every series. And then following that, we will be giving some players we think are under the radar and we think could have big series. That will be presented by Underdog. You will see that later in the show. West, how are you doing? Are you excited for these playoffs? I feel like when our favorite team is not in the playoffs, we kind of lock in and we're more excited for the playoffs as a whole.
I think maybe as a whole. I think when the Blazers are in the playoffs, we're just very stressed, very focused on that one series, so we don't pay attention to the other ones as much. I'm just excited to see the players really care, really try, the arenas be really hype. You know, the color coding in the stands. When I think of like the color codes and the single color stands, I think of OKC. I think of Indiana. Like Indiana game 1 coming up here against Milwaukee soon is going to be electric. Don't know how that's going to go for the Bucks though, because Dame is out. But we will see. Super excited. It's one of the best times of the year on the NBA calendar.
Yeah, I mean, all of the Blazers are out. 3 of my 4 favorite NBA teams are in, so I'm going to be excited to watch my Warriors.
Can we go over those 3 real quick for the viewers? I know 1, maybe 2.
I'm excited to watch my Warriors. I'm excited to watch my Bucks. I'm excited to watch my Lakers now.
Okay.
I hate the Lakers 2 years ago.
Wait, Cody,
I hated them 2 years ago.
Is it my Lakers or my LeBron?
It's my Lakers. I like Luka too, but anyway.
Oh, you just feel like a Rui fan too.
What? Anyway, yeah, Wes, I think the mic goes to you now for this long form.
Yes, Cody, got a great long form today. Can you name the players with the most ever playoff triple doubles all time?
Yeah, Luka and Russ are going to be right on up there.
Luka Doncic is the Maverick with 10. Russell Westbrook is the Thunder with 12.
I don't know why I chose those two. That's pretty random, but
yeah, that's not the way I thought you were going to go first. Let's go Braun. I assume he's probably the Cav.
LeBron is the Cav. The logo represents the team they had the most triple doubles with in the playoffs. It is LeBron James. That's correct.
Let's go Michael Jordan. Only 4. Wow. Come on, Michael.
Michael Jordan, strike 1. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I hated that, Cody.
Did nothing but score, guys.
I hated that, Cody.
Better. Sorry.
I hate that, Cody. All right, let me take over here, Cody. Just let me get a couple. Let's go Jokic, Jason Kidd. We'll hold there. I think that number 1's Wilt, but we'll hold.
Jokic is the Nugget, 3rd all time as an active player. How about it? And then your other one,
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd is also correct. New Jersey Net, triple double. The answer is Jason Kidd. It always is.
All right, I'm sorry about that. I will lock in now. Give me James Harden for the Rocket.
James Harden for the Rocket. Correct. 4 triple dubs.
It's a good one. Cody, I mean, is Draymond Green a crazy guess? He at least has 3 in the bottom right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go Draymond.
Draymond Green has 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, Felt like he had 10, but that also felt real hefty. That 30 Lakers throwing me off. Like, is it just Wilt Chamberlain? He's on here somewhere. Let's go Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, Wilt is going to be the 9 for the Sixer. Had more for the Sixers.
Interesting.
But he is on here.
I would have figured. Who is the Laker now that I think about it?
Come on, lads.
I bet you that Buck, though, in the bottom right's Giannis.
Yes, Giannis is correct. I also, sorry, quickly, I left that Sixer who has 3 in the bottom right. I kept there by himself just to really, because it's so crazy that this guy has
I think I know who it is, but I don't want to get. Is it Ben?
It's Ben Simmons, yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
Benjamin
let's go Oscar for the Royals.
Oscar for the Royals is correct. That is another C logo rip player. That is correct.
I mean, the guy won 11 championships. Like, do we just go Bill Russell?
Oh, that guy. Did he get 10 assists? Probably.
A lot of playoff options. A lot of playoff games. Let's go Bill.
We'll go Bill.
Strike 2.
That's nope. Look it up. He has to have more than 3.
No, I hated it. I hated the guess anyway.
Bro,
but like,
you think they passed back then?
He must not qualify. There's surely how
30, Cody. 30 playoff triple doubles.
Guys, come on.
Are we forgetting someone obvious?
Yes.
Magic Johnson? No way.
Oh, it's Magic Johnson.
Yeah, it's
Holy
Magic.
crap.
You guys are poor. Oh my gosh. Never beating the I don't know ball allegations. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Sorry. Magic Johnson 30, Michael Jordan 0. It's kind of that scared me.
Yeah, that's fair, but like Magic, I think in his like first finals or something, had like a triple double or something crazy.
You just got to think of guys who are
all right. If Magic's on here, Bird's on here.
Yeah, Bird has 10.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Cody, I just wanted to grab that real quick. We have 2 strikes though.
Yeah, Michael's killing us right now. He's really playing with my head right now.
All right. The only thing that makes sense for the Spurs, like, it's not Tony, it's not Manu. It could be Manu actually, but Tim Duncan's. It's just got to be him.
Yes, it is Tim Duncan. Curious how many of those were with assists and how many were with how many 10 block games do you think he had?
Maybe one or two. Well, he's had 10. Well, with the triple double, maybe one or two.
Yes, of course. But Tim Duncan, that is correct. That is one of the modern guys.
You want to know who high key a Celtic probably is Kevin McHale, because I think he was kind of a dimer, but I can't go out on that.
What about Scottie Pippen?
Okay, go with a son, Cody.
Charles Barkley. Duh.
It is Charles Barkley.
Let's go. Thank you for not going Steve. The Nick is probably Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, probably is.
Okay.
Patrick Ewing is going to be strike 3. That is gonna do it unless we pull a little extender.
All right, let's go. Let's go Kevin McHale. He's probably on here.
He's not.
Okay, then let's just give it to me then. Pause.
Dude, okay, the Celtic that I really thought you guys should get is Rondo.
Oh, that's tough.
He's on the list, top 10 boards.
Yeah, that's tough.
John Havlicek, not as mad about it. It was Scottie Pippen.
Okay, yeah, I talked you off like an idiot.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, it might just prove that Scottie Pippen was better than people thought. Walt Frazier for the Knicks, not mad about it.
Yeah.
Elgin Baylor for the Lakers. I mean, it's probably a name you should mention, but there's so many there. And then, the other dudes, Steph does have 3. Jimmy Butler has 3. Blake Griffin has 3. There are more guys with 3. I just picked those 3 guys. But that is the list. Really thought we probably should have did better there because we've done triple doubles before, just active.
It's tough watch.
Tough watch, fellas.
I will be okay with those comments on this one. All right, so not the greatest performance on the long form, but now let's get to what we really want to talk about, and that is the playoffs. I'm just going to send it to you, West. We're going to go series by series, but I want you to take me to the series you are most excited for first.
Series that I'm most excited for. I'm going to give you an underrated one. I think it's going to be the most entertaining, might not be the most flashy. I think Detroit, New York is going to be a series. That's going to be a fun series because obviously anytime it's in the Garden, you're like Mike Breen, it's electric. Yeah. And Detroit hasn't had a playoff game in a long time, and they kind of have I don't want to discredit the bad boy Pistons by saying that this Pistons team is like that, but for a Charmin soft NBA landscape these days, the Pistons are kind of rough and tough, which I appreciate, and the Knicks are physical too. That's going to be a physical series. I kind of liked the Knicks 76ers series last year, but of course with the 76ers center who just doesn't, he grinded in that series with some injuries, but he kind of was like, is he just going to sit games? But this is like, no one's sitting games. No one's going to blink. It'll be a fun series.
Yeah, I mean, this series, I actually don't really see the Pistons winning maybe even one game. I know I said that, but
just back to reality, kind of.
But they just have absolutely no experience. The Knicks are an insane defensive team. They can throw everything at Cade. Cade's really the only big star, I guess I would say, on the team. I mean, it just comes with experience, and it's really hard to go from literally the worst team in the NBA by far, had the longest losing stretch in NBA history, was it last season, and then to move on against the Knicks. I don't see it. Maybe they win a game, maybe two, maybe they win the series. I don't know, but I don't.
That's why we play the games.
I don't think the Knicks are going to have any problem, in my opinion. But I've been wrong plenty of times. Cole, tell me about what you think.
I think it'll be one of those where every game's going to be entertaining, but I'll take Knicks in 5 or something. I'm really excited for the games in Detroit. I think that should be an awesome atmosphere because they've made the playoffs sprinkled in here or there over the last 10, 15 years since they won and had that stretch with the Chauncey-led Pistons. But this is probably the most exciting of those teams. All the other ones where we sneak in as an 8 or 7 and we get swept. They might still get swept, but I think it'll be very entertaining. I think the games will be close. I'll be interested to see how many minutes the Knicks starters play. That's a big thing, but I'll just take the Knicks to move on in 5. Nothing crazy.
My favorite series that I'm most excited to watch is definitely going to be the Lakers and Minnesota Timberwolves. It's probably going to be the most viewed series, obviously. It's going to be on TNT every night and whatever. It is what it is. It's going to get all the eyeballs, but I think matchup-wise, it's going to be an interesting series. Ant Edwards absolutely cooked in the play. I mean, look at all this talent you have on the floor. You have Luka. I'm putting Reeves up there. He's insane now. You have LeBron, and it's just insane amount of talent in this series. Tell me what you think. I think the question is, can Gobert take it on the Lakers, who don't really have good bigs down there?
Yeah. That was going to be the series that I picked, but I had a feeling one of you guys would go with that. I like the Lakers to move on in the series strictly because if they don't, that is rough stuff.
Yeah.
I'll go Lakers in 6. I think Edwards can win a game or two, and not Sixers. The Timberwolves aren't bad or by any means, but they're just definitely didn't have as much juice as last year. Maybe Cat brought more juice than
You're relying on Julius, man.
Yeah, that's the problem. Where do you see this series going, Cole? Lakers, T-Wolves?
I think it's going to be a long series. I'll just say like Lakers in 7 or something because I feel like a lot of the times with these LeBron-led teams, like once they're down 20, like if it's like a game 2 and they're up 1-0, they'll just like Bron, instead of fighting to try to win this game and get back into it and maybe lose, he's just going to kind of just like make his bed and move on in the next game. He couldn't do that last year against the Nuggets, obviously.
The one thing that you could like counter that with is like Luka. Now he can just let Luka take over for stretches. And if Luka's pulling him back, then they're pulling him back.
And we know when Luka sees Rudy, I mean, it's food to him. Like
it's literally food. Let's stay in the West now. Let's just kind of go matchup by matchup. So we all are taking Lakers to advance. Let's go Clippers, Nuggets in the 4-5. Clippers playing some ball.
Yeah. I could see this being probably the best series of the first round, even though I just said Timberwolves Lakers is going 7. I think these are going to be tightly contested games. I think the biggest thing is Clippers definitely have more depth than the Nuggets. The Nuggets are going to really rely on those 5. They've got Russell Westbrook, who kind of scares me. I just don't know what he will do in these down the stretch in these games. And it's just one of those where it's like Russ might possibly win you a game, but like he's much more likely going to lose you a game. And then the Nuggets have the best player in the series still. The Clippers have the better defense. Like I truly don't know where I'm going in this series. I just think it goes at least 6.
I think it's just going to be a clash between the centers. Not that Zubac is the best player on the Lakers by any means, but
Clippers.
Zubac is honestly looking like possibly the most improved player in the NBA this season. I mean,
he's been
his 2K rating's up to an 88, and it's just going to be like the Clippers. They won't stop Jokic. Jokic will get his 30 at least every game, his triple doubles. But it's going to be interesting how Zubac, I guess, holds up against Jokic, I would say. Also because Jokic isn't the best centerpiece on the defensive end.
Correct. So. I think I'm just going to go Nuggets in 7 just because they have Jokic, I think.
And they got great home court.
Yeah. Honestly, this series feels like 2 teams are just going to beat each other up, and the winner's going to limp into the OKC series.
They have a good coach.
Is what it feels like. Who has a good that? Yeah. All right. So just give me a prediction. Cole, Nuggets or Clippers to advance?
I'll go Nuggets in 7.
Cody?
I'll go Clippers in 7.
Okay, I'll go Nuggets in 7. That's a good series. Let's go to Houston and Golden State. I know where Cody's going to go here. I'll let him, but maybe he surprises us. I feel like it's a very trendy upset. This is kind of giving me vibes of when the Grizzlies played the Lakers a few years ago in the 2-7, where it's like, you have better playoff experience. You have like the X factor in Curry, and the Rockets are super unproven. The Rockets are like underrated for sure. People are going to underrate them in this series.
When you say upset, what exactly do you mean? Who upsetting who?
The Warriors upsetting the Rockets.
Okay.
But then on the flip side, like since acquiring Jimmy Butler, they've been great. So it's like, are they really a 7 seed caliber?
I think they're pretty heavy favorites. They're other than OKC, they're heavier favorites than the Lakers over the Timberwolves, or I believe the Clippers are favored over the Nuggets.
Interesting.
Personally, I think it comes down to the Rockets are going to be in these games. I mean, we just saw Amin Thompson lock up Steph Curry like a week or 2 ago to I think Curry had like one of his worst games of his career, like 3, 5, maybe 7 points or something like that. I think the Rockets are going to win this series. I think they're going to win it in. I think it genuinely could be like what we saw with the Suns and Timberwolves last year, where we have a young upstart team just blitz a veteran team. Now, I trust veterans such as Steph Curry over a veteran like Kevin Durant, and probably Jimmy. I would trust Jimmy over a guy like Devin Booker, and then don't even get me started with Beal. But I genuinely do think the Rockets are going to win this series. The problem is I think the longer the series goes, probably more likely the Warriors end up squeaking it out. My biggest fear for the Rockets is down the stretch offense. Who are you going to? I really don't want to see Fred VanVleet step back threes. I don't want to see Jalen Green. Like do whatever he wants to. Like, you really should just be running through Sengun. But then again, do you want to run through a center like that other than Jokic? It's tough for the Rockets. I really think like the Rockets, if they're going to win this series, it's going to be because they like smoke them in like 3 games or something, and then they just kind of like find it down the stretch in one of them.
I think, the Rockets, I'm going to choose the Warriors because, they're my heart. I think the Rockets, what they need to do is definitely attack Draymond. The Warriors don't have the best depth when it comes to centers. I mean, because Kayvon and Sengun, I mean, come on. But unfortunate for the Rockets, too. I mean, you grind from such a bad season last season. You get up to the 2 seed, absolutely ridiculous. No one expected that. And now you have to play the Warriors in round 1. That is brutal. I think the experience will take over here, and I'm going the Warriors. But the Rockets are really good. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets won this one. I'm going to say Warriors in 7, actually. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm going to go Warriors to advance. I think the NBA has an opportunity to pit LeBron against Golden State one last time in the second round. Of course, they would love that to happen. Not saying the NBA would rig by any means. They would never do that. No, seriously, they wouldn't, right? Yeah, this is one of those series where we could literally dedicate a whole show to. So I won't go into all my thoughts, but there's like, who is Draymond going to guard? Like, who is like all that stuff. That's what's so fascinating about the playoffs as well. I'm going to go Warriors. I think Warriors in 6. I think if they have a lead coming back to the Bay, they're not going to lose that game at home. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah. But by the way, I do think the Bay crowd is much worse than it used to be. They don't even wear the shirts. We were talking about shirts earlier in the intro, and the Warriors fans don't even wear shirts anymore. Remember when Oracle was popping? But anyway, let's move on. This is my hot take of the pod. I'm going to say Rockets in 5. I think if the Rockets are winning, they win it quickly. Do the Thunder have any chance at losing to the Grizzlies?
I got 2 words for you. Thunder in 4. An inside joke. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll say Thunder in 4. I don't trust Ja Morant whatsoever.
Cody?
I see what you did there. The little Charles Barkley reference. Not 2 words. I'm going to say the Thunder sweep the Grizzlies. Do the Grizzlies win the game? No, and if they do, Ja's just going to get beaten up in the air, and it's just not going to happen. So.
Speaking of Charles Barkley, the Suns, they're not in the playoffs. That's awkward. Let's go to the East. Cleveland.
I think people are overrating the possibility of this being a upset suddenly just because the Heat won 2 straight games. The Heat are still a 37-45 team. They practically have the same record as the Portland Trailblazers. The Cavs had one of the best regular seasons in franchise history. I think the Cavs, they'll squander 1, but they're winning in 5 comfortably.
Yeah, I got Cleveland.
We'll go Cleveland in 4. Absolutely no chance for another Miami Cinderella run, especially without Jimmy Butler this time. Tyler can shoot well, but he's eventually going to miss some shots, and it's just not
eventually. And Cleveland has the guys to put on him. Pause. Boston, Orlando. I love Franz and Paolo as a front court. I literally don't think the Magic can literally shoot well enough to even keep up.
Yeah, and they don't have Jalen Suggs, so that just hurts them defensively. I'll just go Boston in 5. I think Boston kind of messes around sometimes and decides to lose games in the playoffs.
That's what I was going to say. My hot take, it's not going to sound hot on the surface. Boston in 5, Boston loses game 1.
I could see that happening.
I mean,
I don't hate that.
Magic, solid defensive team, but their shooting is just absolutely abysmal. Like, they cannot keep up with Boston. 5 out for Celtics shooting every possession. What's about 50 minutes roughly in an NBA game? 200 minutes. That's only 4 games.
When you play that style of basketball, like, does it even matter that the Magic have a good defense? Like, because I think the Magic's, like, their defense is good because they've got good, just like,
they have perimeter defenders though.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like defense is most important, like going side to side, not when you're moving the ball. But I don't know. I'm just
sorry, but you cannot defend 5 out for 200 minutes straight of 5 shooters, where the worst shooter on the floor is Al Horford, who's like 40% from 3. You're just not.
You literally just, it's just, does the ball go in or not? Truly.
Yep. I think we're all comfortably taking,
in my opinion,
Boston. Okay, interesting. Sweep. Let's move on. Pacers, Bucks. Are we going with our head or the heart, guys?
All right. Well, here's the heart. Love my Damian Lillard. That's why I like the Bucks in the first place. And, I'm going to go on a little rant here. It's just kind of sickening for Damian Lillard. I mean, you just have a bad team on the Blazers this whole time. You go to the Bucks. You finally have help, and that's going to be the narrative. Dame played with Giannis. What are you talking about? Dame had help his whole career. well, this Bucks team without Giannis is actually like one of the worst teams in the NBA. I'm not even joking when I say that. This Bucks team is atrocious, and my heart obviously wants the Bucks to win, but it's really not going to happen unless Dame comes back, and that's the X factor, obviously, of the series. So
yeah, it just sucks because Dame obviously doesn't get to play with Giannis last year in the playoffs, and then this year Giannis is looking as good as ever, even though he's like going to not even sniff MVP. I'd argue he's at his peak right now. I assume he's going to have just crazy games over and over and over again. But even though Dame is probably going to come back game 2 or 3, like it would take a superhero performance for Dame to be not even the Dame that he was with the Blazers, but just the Dame that he was last year in the playoffs. So that just sucks.
As cooked as Chris was, like Kuzma's such a downgrade.
What are the Bucks doing, man? Like that is actually one of the worst. Like that's almost Nico Harrison level front office thing.
I will say though, as Blazer fans, I don't mind the Bucks being in this spot right now.
It's a good point. I think the Pacers win in 6.
Yeah, I'm saying Pacers in 6. Shock me, Bucks, please. I think we talked about it at the beginning, but just to get your predictions quick, Pistons or Knicks?
I think we did that. I said Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.
I said 5 or a sweep for the Knicks, yeah.
And I'm going to go Knicks in 7. That is our playoff predictions. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about it. Please tell me why a team's a win, why a team's going to lose. Game 1 is, or the game 1's set like Saturday. We're recording this, Friday night. Game 1 is Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, so obviously by the time this goes up, it'll be probably Sunday mid-afternoon, and you guys will know the results of game 1. So comment down below, like, what happens in game 1. Give us your hot takes after game 1. We'd love to see them. Next, before we get into the guest of the team, we are going to kind of go over some underrated players, and it doesn't even have to be underrated players, just any player that we think is going to go off in certain series that's presented by Underdog. So make sure you stay for that coming up right now. All right, we're going to hop into a little segment we like to call Underdogs, presented by Underdog Fantasy, where, of course, you can use code RCR when signing up to get up to 1K in bonus credit and a free pick. The link to that is in the description. And again, use code RCR. We'll be flashing up the player projections on the screen as we go over some players. Let's start off with the Grizzlies and Thunder. Who's a player you're targeting in this series?
I'll start. I'm going to target Santi Aldama. Here's why. He's my underdog. This guy has never seen a shot he doesn't like. And I feel like the Grizzlies are going to be behind all series, and they're just going to be like quick offense, trying to get back in like into games. I feel like when you play a half-court game against the Thunder, you're just going to get suffocated. Santi Aldama, just target his points. I mean, I just feel like he's going to be shooting a lot. So that's my underrated underdog for that series.
And I'm actually just going against the idea of this guy's an underdog. Some would say he's an underdog because he wasn't a top 10 pick. But I genuinely think I'm targeting Shea this series for multiple reasons. Shea is going to come into this playoffs against a guy like Ja Morant. He's going to have a personal matchup. He's going to want to go off. And by the way, he just consistently puts up 30 every night. So like, I'm just taking the higher a lot of the times in these games. But when I see a guy like Zach Edey in the paint, Shea just works in the paint. He's just going to attack Zach Edey. And honestly, if you're trying to get really cute, I just take his higher on first quarter points in a lot of these games because I think the Grizzlies, especially in game 1, they're going to trot out Zach Edey. Shea's going to see free food. Shea's going to have like 10 in the first quarter, and then maybe Zach doesn't play for a lot of the rest of the series. But I'm just saying Shea's coming out with a vengeance, especially to start. So I'm liking Shea. Sue me if he's an underdog or not.
Okay. I like that, Cole. I'll keep mine short and simple. I like Scottie Pippen Jr. Okay. I think the Thunder are really going to target, I guess, defending, the Desmond Bains and the Ja Morants and even the Edys on the floor. And I think Scottie Pippen Jr. is just going to have good looks, and he's an underrated player, I think, in general. So I'm taking higher.
You want to know why I like that one too?
Why?
I think the series has severe blowout potential, and Scottie Pippen might be running the blowout lineups in the fourth quarter. He's not good enough to sit on the bench when these blowouts are going on. So that's an interesting one.
Similar to my Aldama play there. Let's move to the Rockets, the Golden State Warriors. Guys, I'm going to be honest. He's not really an underdog, but just like Amen Thompson, rebounds and assists, literally anything but points. He's going to be so active in this series. I'm going with anything with him. That doesn't have to do with points because, the shot in the playoffs is probably not going to be great with all the pressure.
That's a good take. I actually I don't like Steph Curry in this series for that exact reason because of Amen Thompson. So I'm going to go with a guy that loves his shot. He puts him up, and that's going to be Brandon Pajemski. I think he's going to have a lot of shot attempts. It's going to come down to does he knock him down? So maybe you target a little field goal attempted, 3-point attempted.
You can't shoot for the player, man.
So he's not afraid to put up looks. This is going to be a close series. He's started to play better over the last couple weeks. I think he's going to be very active in this series. So I'm going with Pajemski.
Interesting. All three different ones so far, because once again, I'm going in a different direction. I'm taking Draymond Green, not for points, but for just everything. Rebounds, points, assists combined. Those three, I think he's the X factor in the series. The Rockets are going to absolutely hawk Steph Curry. Like, just all eyes, all targets defending him, slowing him down. Draymond's going to be an X factor. Even for shots, he's going to get wide open looks. So I think Draymond, I'm taking higher on that one. For sure.
If I was a sports writer, this is just a little side note. I would write an article about like how Amen Thompson and Draymond are kind of play the same roles for their teams, but they're like a generation apart. And it's like, is this series going to be won by athleticism and youth? Or is it going to be won by like the knowledge and like I've been here before and I have the experience? So that's an interesting one. Cody, again, we're on the same wavelength, if you will. We're just going with different guys. There's so many underdogs in the NBA, right? Okay. Lakers, Timberwolves. I'm going to go, again, call underdog or not, because he's been good this year. I'm going to go Naz Reid. Because I don't think Rudy Gobert is going to really punish the Lakers the way Naz Reid can. Make Jackson Hayes step out and guard you. I think he's just going to be on the floor a lot because he's a much tougher matchup for it. He's also, Jackson Hayes is going to be undersized, and he's going to have to step out. That puts Luke and LeBron like one-on-one on the perimeter to defend. I think that's cookies. I think Chris Finch will recognize that. Naz Reid will get a lot of opportunities. Give me PRA. Give me some PRA.
I'll let you go first. Something tells me you're not going with an underdog.
I'm definitely taking higher on Luka Doncic for points, rebound, and assist. He's just too good. You saw what he did to the Timberwolves last season, and I think he runs the offense for the Lake Show. Straight up.
I'm actually going to second that, Cody. I think Luka's going to have an insane series. He's done it before in the playoffs, and I just think that there's no matchup that's too tough for Luka. So it really just comes down to, is Luka going to be all in and want to shoot all the shots in the world? So I'm just gonna match you. I think the Lakers win this series because of Luka. So,
all right, Clippers, Nuggets, similar to your Luka play. I'm going Jokic with anything. I feel like he's not quite at the level of what Giannis is with Milwaukee, but that Nuggets team doesn't have a ton of depth, and he's going to have to be special against a pretty good defense. And I'm just going to predict that the Clippers' defensive strategy is going to be like clamp everyone else and let Jokic exert himself on the offensive end. Give me anything with Jokic.
I'm actually going to go to the other side of the ball. I'm going to go with a Clippers player. I'm going to go with Nicholas Batum. I think depth-wise, he's going to be the guy. Yeah, and he's going to be playing in the fourth quarter, I can tell you that. He can knock down shots and he can play defense, and that's what you need in playoff series like this. I think Chris Dunn is not going to be a guy that you're going to see get a lot of run late in this series just because he can't shoot the ball. Just as I think Russell Westbrook's going to be a liability for the Nuggets. I think you got to go with safe guys that are going to be able to knock down shots and play quality defense, and Batum does that better than a lot of players in the NBA, even at his age still. Give me Batum in any type of statistical profile you want to go with.
All right, I'll keep mine short. James Harden, I think he turns back the clock. Points higher, simple as that. I think the Clippers need it. That's it.
All right, my underdog moving to the East in the Heat in the Cavaliers series. Again, is it an underdog? Is it not? Donovan Mitchell, man. Donovan Mitchell higher on all of his points.
He definitely shows up in the playoffs, so I don't hate that at all. I think we're going to see some blowouts in this series. I'm not going to lie. That's why I'm going higher on Kel'el Ware. He gets the starts, but he's also a rookie, so I think they want him to play as much as possible, whether it's close games or whether it's blowout games. He's not afraid to shoot the ball. My fear? Actually, no. I think he's going to... I like the higher on 3-point field goals made in every single game because I think they're going to put Mobley on Bam Adebayo. He's going to have Jarrett Allen on him. That is Ware, of course, and he's going to be able to get a little room to knock down some threes, and he can shoot it for sure. So give me Ware.
All right. I think I was thinking about between two. I'll take Bam on rebounds. I just think the Heat are kind of small in general, and he'll just have all the opportunities to get all the rebounds he needs. And if the Heat want a chance to win the series, they're going to have to play physical. So that's why I'll take Bam for rebounds. That's all.
Yeah, Bam's actually, that's a good pick. Because Bam's going to have to do work on the glass against those 7-footers. Boston, Orlando. It's tough because like these series are not going to go long, but just because I love them, give me anything Peyton Pritchard higher.
I think Big Al. He's going to be hoisting some threes. He knocks him down. He gets hot and he doesn't get hot, but I think he gets hot in this series. And he wants another ring. He wants to solidify that Basketball Hall of Fame case. You know, he's at like 60% on the basketball reference percentage. Give me Big Al. Knock down some threes.
Peyton Pritchard, 3-pointers made, please.
There you go. Peyton Pritchard twice. We move to the 3-6 matchup. The Knicks and the Pistons. Where do you go? I'm going to go to Tobias Harris. As dookie as he's been in the past, I think the Knicks, again, one of those teams that are really physical. I think Cade is going to have it tougher in this series. I was thinking maybe Malik Beasley, but I just think his shot profile is all threes. There's a little variance there. I think Toby is going to have to be that second option if they want a chance in this series, and he's going to have to play well. Of course, I'm banking on the fact that he plays well, but I'm going to go higher Toby points.
All right. I like that. I'm going to go with a Knicks guy. I'm going to go with a Knicks starter because they're going to play at least 40. Give me OG Anunoby. I think as long as he stays healthy, he's going to put up a lot of statistical numbers into the box score. Are you going with that too, Cody?
I am. Yep. I don't think, honestly, Mikal has not had a great season, and I think he has to have a better season or better series than Mikal for the next, not win the series, but at least win the series comfortably. So I'm taking OG.
That our first Louis lock, 2 on the same player.
Yep.
Last series, Bucks, Pacers.
Bucks.
I'm just going anything with Giannis, guys.
Yeah. Me too. I don't have any faith in. If Dame comes back, different story. But I'm just going points, rebounds, and assists higher on Giannis for everything because if for the Bucks to do anything, he has to do everything. So that's it.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go the other side. It's going to be Miles Turner higher on threes or points or in any way. You know, Brooke just can't get out there and guard the line like he used to. I don't know if he ever could, but he definitely can't now. So Miles is going to get a lot of open looks. So I got to go that way.
All right. Those are our underdogs presented by Underdog. You know what code you can use, but I'll say it again. It's code RCR. Cole, you want to add anything to that?
I think that's all we got for that segment. So we're going to have one more little game here at the end of the show. We're going to get into a little guess the team, and then we will see you guys for the next show. So let's get right into that.
All right, this is the last segment. We are doing a guess the team. Guess the NBA team based off how many points per game they averaged this season.
That center's not putting up a lot, but that point guard is putting up a lot. What point guards are averaging 28? And 3 20-point per game scorers is nothing to snooze at, by the way.
This is actually a good question.
Is that Luka, LeBron, and A. Reeves? I know LeBron doesn't average 25 this year.
That's actually gonna be correct because I saw so many news things about LeBron's lost his streak. Small forward would be like probably
Rui.
Finney Smith. It'd be Rui.
I think it'd be Rui. I think Rui got 13 and Hayes definitely 6.8. I think this is the Lake show.
Yeah, that's perfect, guys. It is the Lakers. AR-15. How about AR-20? That was an absolutely terrible joke. The second team is on the screen. 27.2 for the shooting guard.
27 a game is a lot. And Edwards, maybe?
I like that because I know that Mike Conley's now averaging 10. Rudy just hovers at 12. He gets 6 dunks a game. Randall at 18 makes sense.
Great Julius, an inefficient 18.7.
Inefficient 18, and then McDaniels is knocking down 3 corner threes and then maybe a free throw and a dunk.
Yeah, that's correct. This is the Timberwolves.
I see what you did there.
In the series, exactly. Lakers versus Timberwolves. You guys I got Lakers in 7.
Give me Lake Show in 7.
Lakers in 5.
Whoa.
Well, let us know how you did in the comments.
All right, that is going to do it for episode, 7 of the RCR show. We'll get back to you guys at some point throughout the playoffs. But of course, if you want to see us every single day, go check us out on TikTok and Instagram. That is rcr.trivia to see daily videos there. Again, use code RCR when signing up for Underdog Fantasy. It's extremely fun to watch the games when you got a little higher or lower on certain players throughout the game. So make sure you go check that out and use code RCR like I just said. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.